Hello everybody, welcome back to another video here at Dark Matter Crafts. Guess what? This video is going to be interesting. It's going to be different from anything I've ever done before. Check this out. We were walking the dogs the other day at our secret spot, and this limb literally called out to me. It was like a shining light off to the side. I looked at this and I go, yep, that's a project right there. Just the way that this piece of tree branch, this limb, the way this is formed in this very unique way, it's very smooth. I don't know, it really called to me. So I was thinking, this is a staff. This is like a wizard's staff, you know? So I am going to turn this into something really interesting. What it's going to end up looking like, I have no idea, but come on, come with me, we'll see what we can do. All right, friends, we have to start off by getting all the little tiny nobules off this stick. There's quite a few, but super easy to take off. As you can see, I just took my knife and just ran along the stick, just getting all those little knobs off, just to help it go a little bit easier for the next stage, which would be sanding. And this took a fair amount of time, even though this stick was really smooth to begin with. I wanted it to be as smooth as possible, just so it feels really nice in the hand. So after that was all done, kind of cleaned it up, and then I used a walnut stain. This is a really dark stain. I think it was actually a black stain. Yeah, it's called ebony is what the stain was called. So put that all over the stick, and it absorbed pretty well. And there's different textures in the wood, or different grains. I don't even know exactly what it is, but it turned out so cool. It was almost like a zebra effect in some areas. So that was really, really cool. So then just kind of put that aside, let that dry for a while. And then I started on with the resin. So I wanted to make a pyramid to put on the top of the staff. And when I made the one, I wanted to put it basically upside down, so the point was down. And then I didn't really understand, or I didn't really know what I was going to do with it after that. So I did end up making a second pyramid and then gluing that to the top. But here you go, see the resin here? This turned out so cool. Like the amount of mica powder that I put in there, the look of it doesn't do it justice on the screen here. It looks really, really cool. I was really happy how that pyramid turned out. So I went along and I started putting some twine where the handle would be, and basically just hot glued it, did a wrap or two, glue again, did a wrap or two, and did the whole thing. And as you can see, I kept the two little nubs of that limb at the top. I thought they looked kind of cool. I didn't want to cut those off, so I kept those and wrapped those as well. So now, just to add a little bit more flair to the staff, here I have a mold of skulls. And I just used some hot glue. I put the hot glue inside the mold. There you can see they turned out really, really well. That's just a tip for you guys. If you've never used hot glue for small molds, try it out. It actually works really well, dries fast, so you can actually use those pieces right away. So just mix up some paint, a little bit of white, yellow, and a touch of black, just to kind of get this yellowish bone kind of color. I'm going to put some black wash on this after this dries, just because it'll give it a more realistic look once that's done. But just here I am, just painting it up, getting it all in the cracks, the eye sockets, everywhere. And then after that, as you can see, now I go with the black wash. And this made it look really, really good. Made it look a little dirty, made it look a little old. So it turned out pretty cool after we put the black wash on. So here you can see there's just a bunch of trinkets here, some pentagrams, some moons, different little things that I just got from my wife here. And took a little bit of that twine, I unraveled it to have smaller strands, and basically just tied these to the trinkets, and then I used a little bit of watered down white glue, and I just put that on the knots just so that they would stay, and then glued them all around the staff. They were different lengths. It was a suggestion that my wife had made to me, and I thought that was a really good one. So different lengths, glued it all around, and then I just wrapped a little bit of twine around where I glued it, just so it looks a little bit more finished. And here's just some skull hands, skeleton hands, and I resined those on. I originally had put hot glue, but that didn't work. Like you bumped it and it came off really easy. So I used some UV resin, put that on the pyramid, and yeah, that really worked. So I got the staff completed, and it, I think, turned out great. That stick that I found out in the woods was just this super interesting look that I knew I had to do something with it. It was just perfect. It just called my name, like I said. And here's the final product. I think this is gonna go really well. I'm going to display it at the Renaissance Fair that we have coming up here. So, all right, friends, that's the video. I'm really happy with the project. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you again.